So I'm considering making content or trying to make some videos, also helping out solo DMZ players, because that's essentially how I play the game too. And I think the very first thing that I want to help people out is with spawning and how the spawns work. I know they change by seasons and everything, but what I do is I use a DMZ interactive map to find out like all the key locations, special areas, like where the hospitals and police stations are and everything like that. And I always used the spawns to manipulate how I go about doing that run. Here's an example. So let's take this spawn at Hafid Port for example, right? So you spawn here, you got these crates in front of you, and you're wondering about where the other operators are going to spawn at. Luckily, this spot is actually really safe, right? Because if you look on the map, the only other spawns that are closest to you is someone who will spawn on the pipes that's right above Said City, right next to the soccer field, all the way in Al Safra Quarry, or then there's someone who's spawning in between the cemetery on that little island there. So Hafid Port in and of itself is a relatively safe spawn. If you were to spawn on the east suburbs or the eastern outskirts over by Al Mazrah City, that's a very unsafe spawn because there are like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spawns right over there. And you know how Call of Duty players can get. A lot of them are scumbags. They don't know how to think. They just see something move and then they just fucking shoot it, right? And it's like, that's what makes spawning on the eastern side of Al Mazrah pretty unsafe. So your next question may be, well, how are you able to navigate yourself at least through Al Mazrah as a solo DMZ player? Well, see, here's the thing. The average DMZ team are actually 3 randoms put together, right? A lot of people are doing them solo and then doing solo fills, right? Plus, your average pathing of the average group is actually very predictable to learn. So let's take myself at Hafid Port for example, right? If I spawn at Hafid Port, or any random group spawns at Hafid Port, excuse me, they will do a very predictable line, right? They're gonna go through Hafid Port, they may open a stronghold, they may do a mission over there, they may do this, they may do that. But the major thing that they may do, which will definitely give them away, is they'll probably hit a UAV tower that's in a very major part of the map, right? So say one of the teams that's at Al Safra Quarry, they spawn up there, then they go south into the quarry. Chances are you're gonna see on the map that they're going to call in a UAV tower, right? So at least that's how you know at the very least that there is a team at that location. They'll do it at Sawa Village, they'll do it at Al Bagra Fortress, even though that's very unlikely. They'll do it at the airport, they'll do it in Al Mazrah City, they'll do it in Hydroelectric, they'll do it in the cave complex, so on, so forth. They will do something that will give their position away. And so what's next? How do you navigate around them? Well, that all depends on the missions that you have on the map, and I usually tend to avoid doing missions that will, I feel like, get me caught. Maybe I can do an HVT mission because that's just shooting someone and then boom, you get paid. I'll do a scavenger contract or something like that. If you're Billy Badass, unlike me, you probably do a hunt squad, or it really wouldn't matter what mission that you do. But this part is RNG. That's all really just depending on the map, depending where you spawn in. There's a whole lot of other variables involved when it comes to that. I did not intend for this video to be so long. I did definitely want to make it a very quick video, very small, easy to follow video on at least trying to understand the spawns in DMZ and how they change per season and which one will yield you the most amount of danger versus the least amount of danger. And if you guys would like me to talk about something else, please leave a comment down below. All of you have a wonderful day, and please take care.
objectives into a dead drop for mission progress.